Hi, this is Ken, and basically in this short, quick presentation, I'm going to go through how you can keep your lifestyle and enjoy your life and at the same time lower your debt and expenses. Okay, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to go through this real quick because I want you to understand that in this country, we are facing some economic issues and there are solutions. And what I want to do today is go through this quick presentation and show you that there are some solutions to your problem. If you understand the statistics and know what the numbers are, you can help yourself. So we'll move fast. Whether you earn $100 per day or $1,000 per hour in North America, did you know that 95% of North Americans live paycheck to paycheck? And that means at every level, people are basically broke, 30 to 90 days away from bankruptcy if they lose their jobs, and have debt that they are not able to control or manage. And so we're going to find out how this happened and what we can do about it. Why is debt the new standard in this country? Why is it that people are digging themselves into a financial hole and they don't understand why they can't get out of debt and enjoy some of the benefits and lifestyle that so many people have, which actually is not so many people, but let's say 5% of the population in North America basically are debt-free and have a lifestyle and income coming in, and that is because of how they handle their money. So let's take a look at how we handle our money now and how we can handle our money in the future. We have this thing called an income circle. In the income circle, we have basically these things that we do every day called living expenses. I also like to refer to those as lifestyle. And in the lifestyle, you have the things that you have to pay on a regular basis. You got to keep the lights on. You got to buy the groceries. You got to pay other bills, cable TV, other things of that nature. You have these living expenses that you have and incur every day of your life. And so what we also have to deal with is taxes. And basically what taxes is all about is this. I am not adverse to paying my share of taxes. We have to keep our roads clear and running good. We have to have protection by the police and the fire departments, and we have to have services like ambulance services if something were to happen to you. And so basically what happens is taxes pay for those things. So once again, I am not adverse to paying taxes. I just don't want to pay a large share of taxes unnecessarily. And then we have this other thing that we call debt. And what debt simply is this. Debt is what people are finding themselves strapped with on a daily basis and don't really know how they can get out of it. And that's usually things like credit cards. And if you are a student, you have a lot of student debt that you're incurring. Over the course of your time in school, you're going to have a lot of debt when you get out of college. And one of the first things people find out is the money that they're going to be able to get in terms of an income is not going to help them get out of debt. And so there's got to be some things that are changing. What's missing from this equation, by the way? What is missing from this equation is very simple. We don't have any savings. People in this country are not saving very much money. And if they are saving money, they're probably saving it in the wrong locations. They're probably saving it in banks, CDs, and things of that nature where they're not getting any kind of return on their savings. In fact, if you have your money in a CD today, you're probably only getting about 1% return on that. And if you are getting 1% return on that, that simply means you are losing money every day. And if you have your money in a bank, you're getting less than 1% of interest, and that means you're losing money every day. And why do I say you're losing money every day? Because of inflation. We have this thing called inflation. Inflation has a way of creeping away at our resources. If you're not getting at least 5% return on where your money is right now, 5% at least in interest, that means you are not keeping pace with inflation if inflation is at 3% where it is right now. So what do we do? What are our options? How can someone basically keep their lifestyle and get out of debt? We don't want to change our lifestyle. Would you agree with that? Yes. I am over the age of 50, and I don't want someone coming in and telling me what do I need to do to basically get out of debt or to fix my financial situation. And so what happens is this. You go to a financial planner or someone like that who thinks they know more than you do about money, and they tell you the first thing to do is what? Cut. They want you to cut your expenses. Wow. I'm going to cut my expenses? What does that mean? What do I have to do to cut my expenses? Tell me. How do I cut my expenses? Well, what you need to do is give up on your coffee every morning. Don't go to your favorite coffee shop and have coffee because it adds up at the end of the month and you can take that money and cut it out of your expenses. Well, no way, Jose. I'm not giving up my Morning Joe. Okay, what are some other ways that you can cut your expenses? Well, you can give up your cable. Cable TV is expensive these days, right? You get 500 channels. Most people only watch about two to three or four or five, but that's okay. I don't want to give up my cable because I'm an adult. I like my cable TV. And by the way, you see those rabbit ears? That's what it means when you give up your cable. You go back to what's called rabbit ears and the old antenna and the outside cable world. Okay, what about my, do I really want to give up my dry cleaning services? Do I really want to stop having my clothes taken care of me professionally? No, I don't want to do that. And what you're telling me is I have to actually go out and hunt and gather for my own food now instead of going to the grocery store? These are things that people always talk about, and I'm trying to be facetious about some of these things, but we are all adults, and we don't want to give up our lifestyle. We've already set in our ways how we like to spend our money and spend our time, and who we like to spend our time with. And we don't want someone coming in and saying, this is what you have to do in order to find your way out of debt. Well, there is a solution to getting out of debt and finding a way to keep your lifestyle while you also lower your debt, and that is basically through what we call financial education. With financial education, you will learn how to simply make some basic changes in how you structure your finances, which will in turn help you to basically get out of debt, lower your taxes legally, and have a larger pool of money, what we call cash flow, to work with. And how does that work? Well, we start by teaching you how to cut taxes legally and ethically, how to cut taxes. You don't pay your fair share, but you don't have to pay more than what you really need to pay. The other thing we want you to do is start working on rolling off that debt, cutting your debt. And by cutting your debt, what's going to happen is you'll start to free up your cash flow, as well as with the lower taxes you're going to be paying, you'll free up your cash flow. So basically, cutting taxes, cutting out your debt is going to increase the amount of savings that you have. So you now have a bigger pool of money and cash flow to work with. Now, if we could show you that and teach you how to do that, would it be worth your while to spend some time to learn how to do that? And if you think it's of value, would you have some friends that you'd want to have get this information as well? Because what we do is we do personal financial workshops with people to help them learn about their finances. Join us for a personal financial workshop. Learn what the 5% people know. Those who are in the 5% bracket of income in this country, they know things that you right now don't know, but you can learn about money. And once you learn those things and understand how money works, you'll be able to do what they do, and that's have security of their finances and security of their future. So what are you thinking about? Let's go. Schedule your free online workshop and learn how to get out of the 95% club and join the 5% club. I look forward to seeing you online and helping you change your financial future.